The community has missed the festival for about 10 years. And the festival started in 1984. At one time it was the fourth largest festival in the state. And about 10 years ago, for whatever reason, the community was struggling, couldn't get volunteers. It was just a rough time for Okmulgee, so the festival ended. Well, we felt like with the resurgence, the Okmulgee Rising campaign and everything that's going on with Creek Nation and Main Street, the Chamber, and OSUIT, that it was time for Okmulgee to be able to live that revival of the Pecan Festival again this year.
It's really been gratifying. It takes me back a little bit to my youth and when I was a young attorney here in the 90s when the Pecan Festival was really going on and we still had large employers here and the school system was really good. So I think what we're seeing now is our parents have done their job, and now it's up to our generation to sort of bring back the way we want things to be in Okmulgee. And so it's been very gratifying. It's been hard work, but there's been nothing more gratifying.
So I'm a guy who believes that, a lot of times we get complacent. We're sitting at home. We have nothing to do. And it's kind of like when you're sick. You're sick for a week. You feel depressed. You're just tired. You don't want to do anything. And then you get up one day because you feel a little better, and you take a shower. You walk outside, and it's like new life has been breathed into you. Well, it's like our community had been sick for a while, and now we're doing things to get the community out of their homes and get them back into that environment of community where they're visiting and seeing old friends and doing these old things. And that's why I think festivals like the Pecan Festival are so important for the community, is to keep that spirit of community alive.
And what we're trying to do is we're trying to take all of the parts and view them as spokes in a wheel. And one of the large spokes in the wheel, of course, is the Muskogee Creek Nation. If you just talk about, I'm the president of the Okmulgee School Board. We just got done with Native Vision at the same time that we were doing the Pecan Festival. And that was really a partnership between the Muskogee Creek Nation and the Okmulgee schools to provide volunteers, to provide facilities, to provide places to eat for the kids that were here. And with the Pecan Festival, the Muskogee Creek Nation helped out in a number of ways. First of all, it's all centered around the council house downtown. And if we didn't logistically have the council house as the center of Okmulgee, it just wouldn't be Okmulgee. And so we had all of the vendors on the lawn there. We, of course, had the barbecue competition, and the judging and the final results were given on a stage there. The Muskogee Creek Nation also were the casino and the nation itself were two of our biggest monetary sponsors and provided us with things from electrical help to recycling. Chris Asbell was an active member of our committee and really helped us out when we needed it, and sometimes on very short notice.
So they were extremely important to us. They were one of our bigger sponsors for the festival. And what really speaks volumes to me is you have your own festival that's coming up in a few weeks. And so you didn't have to participate, but because of that community, mindset that is being restored here in Okmulgee, Creek Nation, and One Fire Casino both said, yes, we want to be a part. And so they were major sponsors. And we had a last minute faux pas, I guess you might say, or a problem with electricity. I called a few people at Creek Nation, and immediate response. They came out, they brought generators for us to use for electricity. So they were really a large part of what we're doing. I think they brought the recycling centers out, to help us keep the areas clean, keep the downtown area clean. So it was great what Muskogee Creek Nation did for us for the festival. How long it stays, the community will determine that, and the committee, and how well we market it. As long as we are energized as a community about it and we participate, then we are already making plans for next year. We were making plans for next year within hours of this one closing down. We were talking about the different things that we had learned, being the first year that we had worked on the festival, and how we can make it bigger and better. every year going forward.
My pitch to the city when we went and initially got our first sponsorship, which was a large sponsorship from the city of Okmulgee, was that we were going to bring back the Pecan Festival as bigger, better than ever, and the signature event for downtown Okmulgee. We think we've done that. We don't intend on stopping that. Scott said that we were planning it upon the conclusion of this Pecan Festival. We were already talking about next year on Thursday of this year about what we can do and how things could be better. And so I think it's only going to be bigger and better next year and for the years to come afterwards.